I had just finished using the bathroom out in the woods when I saw kids from the camp running for their lives. I had no idea what was going on, but just to be safe, I followed and hid inside a cabin, watching everyone sprint away. I got a really bad feeling in my gut, but at that moment, nobody knew what was happening until a sharp crack rang out. Everyone instantly panicked. It was obvious something dangerous was happening outside, so the kids could only hide inside, terrified. But this was supposed to be a summer camp for children, and nobody knew what to do next. Then I remembered my little sister was still out there, so I asked if anyone had seen a girl in a yellow sweater. But there were hundreds of kids at this camp, and kids from different groups did not even know each other, so nobody knew where my sister was, and the loud cracks outside kept coming more and more often. Everyone huddled close trying to comfort each other, so I had to put finding my sister on hold for the moment. Right then, someone said, "Someone is here," and everyone rushed toward the door to get away. I ran after them too. What I saw outside was truly horrific. I could even see classmates lying there, and while I was trying to escape, I noticed someone nearby was hurt and on the ground. I quickly helped the girl up and pulled her with me as we ran toward the woods. Luckily, in that moment, I spotted a place we could hide, so I hurried her over there with me, and for the first time I could catch my breath. But the cracking sounds still did not stop, and they were coming from different directions, so it was clear there was more than one attacker. Someone tried to say maybe it was just a stunt, but the screams from other kids made it obvious that was wrong. Only then did we remember to call for help, but the person on the line said the camp was out in the middle of nowhere, and responders would take at least an hour to get there. Hearing that made everyone feel hopeless, and I was still terrified for my sister, so I grabbed my phone and called her, but no one ever picked up. And right then, a boy suddenly ran over to us, with someone else's blood smeared on his head. He told us the ones holding weapons were all responders. I was completely confused. Why would responders be firing at a camp? But the most important thing was getting out of there. A few of us worried this hiding spot would be found, so we waited for the right moment, planning to move somewhere else, but I went the opposite way, running back toward the danger at the camp. I figured my sister might still be hiding in her tent, but when I got there was no one in sight. I crawled using the tents as cover, because if I got spotted, I would be the easiest target out there, around a corner. I saw a boy wearing yellow. I wanted to grab him and pull him with me, but he would not move at all. He said he was supposed to meet his brother here. As soon as I heard that, I tried to talk him into leaving. This place is not safe. I told him to get up and run for the woods, and before I left, I told him to take off the yellow jacket, otherwise it would draw attention. But it was like he did not even hear me, so I kept weaving through the tents, and soon I found my sister's campsite, but she was not there. I tried calling again, then I realized she did not even have her phone. Just then, I heard footsteps outside. I froze so hard I could not move, and I only dared to come out after the steps faded away. I still could not find my sister, so I had no choice but to head for the woods. But the woods felt like where the attackers were gathering. The cracking sounds were getting closer, so I ducked behind a big tree, and nearby another kid was being chased. I curled up in fear, and only stood up once they were far enough away. But after just a few steps, I saw a girl lying on the ground. I wanted to drag her with me, but her back was badly hurt, so I ran to find someone to help. But everyone was only trying to save themselves, and nobody stopped for me, so I had to go back again. The girl was in unbearable pain. I lifted her and checked her back, and I saw a deep hole there. I took off my jacket and tried to wrap it tight, but it was not enough. Kids were still running past us trying to get away. The girl begged me not to leave her, and I looked around, and in the end I chose to lie down beside her. All of a sudden, someone came close nearby. I quickly covered the girl's mouth, but her body was growing colder and colder. Her mind started drifting away, and then smoke started drifting in behind us. I did not know if responders set it off, or if it was done on purpose by the attackers. Right then, I could not worry about any of that. I kept telling her to stay awake, but she still slipped away from her injuries. Then her mom called her phone, but I could not bring myself to answer. I could not bear to hear her mother's broken crying, so I swallowed my grief and kept running, because the most important thing was finding my sister. I followed the crowd all the way to the shore. By the time I got there, the hillside was packed with kids hiding. I tried to hide there too, but the others said there was no room left, so I had to keep moving forward to find somewhere else. Running along the wall, I saw lots of hiding spots, but every single one was already full. Some kids were even pressed flat against the wall, so I kept going, stepping through the water, and that is when I saw someone I knew. The boy's name was Jeff. When he saw me, he waved me over to hide under the branches with him, but the cracking sounds were getting closer again. It felt like the attackers had found our hiding spot. The sounds kept coming faster and faster. We hid there, shaking from head to toe. A girl with braids could not help complaining. Why has nobody come to save us? Even sending a boat would help. And right then, a small boat really did appear in the distance, but the boy behind her stopped her, afraid that if we ran out, we would be seen. And at that same moment, a big group of kids rushed past us. The braided girl saw them bolt out and assumed someone was chasing them, so she ran with the crowd, and the dark-haired boy followed too. Now only Jeff and I were left under the tree. I had just decided to go look for my sister, but Jeff said it was not safe to go out yet, and the second he said it, we heard another crack overhead, so I had to give up on leaving. While we waited, he could tell I was freaking out, so he tried to calm me down and told me to sing a song to relax. But then we heard someone above us ask, "Are you the one singing?" I quickly said yes, it was me. And with that student's warning, I learned my sister was hiding not far away. And right then, another crack cut the moment short. On the cliff not far away, someone was aiming right above my head. I panicked and ducked back under the branches. From the sound, the kid above us had been taken out, and along with other people shouting, a few more kids were gone too. I was terrified. The wind and waves mixed with the cracking sounds. All I could hear were kids yelling. I clenched the muddy ground beside the branches, trying to quiet my shaking heartbeat, until a few minutes later the sounds finally stopped. Only then did I start thinking clearly again. I looked around. It seemed like it might be safe now, so I moved to go look for my sister nearby. Jeff saw what I was doing and stayed right behind me to protect me. We kept moving along the shore, and we spotted someone wearing yellow. I thought it was my sister, but when I got closer, it was the boy I had helped earlier. He never took off the yellow jacket. In that moment, I felt completely crushed, regretting that I did not pull him away with me. Seeing kids lying everywhere around us, I was falling apart, and I was even more scared my sister had been hurt too. Then Jeff caught up to me and grabbed me, telling me to get out of there, but I was barely holding it together, so Jeff tried to talk me through it. He said what happened to that little boy was not my fault, and right now the important thing was staying hidden, because if I did not find my sister, I might not make it either. After hearing that, I tried to steady myself, but then another crack, and I dropped to the ground. Jeff tried to come help me up, but the attacker was still nearby and kept firing. Jeff panicked and fell back into the branches behind him, and when he finally snapped back to reality, I was no longer breathing on the ground. Jeff had no choice but to keep moving, running back toward the hiding spot under the branches. But after a turn by a big rock, a small boat suddenly appeared ahead. Jeff saw it and rushed toward it, and other kids ran over too. For the first time, they finally had a chance to breathe. The person on the boat was not a responder, just an ordinary civilian, but the boat could not hold many people, and there was no way to get everyone hiding on the shore. And just as Jeff was catching his breath, a girl beside him took off her coat, revealing a yellow sweater underneath. She was helping treat someone's wounds, and that girl was the sister I had been searching for.